Hello Nation, I'm Dustin Davis and welcome to Chiefs Express Report. The season opened with promise and conviction, yet as the weeks progressed, questions emerged where certainty once stood and the conversation shifted in ways few anticipated. What seemed secure now feels less so, and those uncertainties are influencing every choice the organization makes going forward. Let's check out some great moves for the Chiefs to win another Super Bowl. Firstly, can I ask for your help? Just leave a like. So many of you watch us daily and forget that thumbs up. It's a humble way to support and helps more than you know. Thanks a lot. But the most puzzling question facing Kansas City right now involves a high-priced defender who's nowhere to be found on the field. A $20 million acquisition remains absent from the field while the franchise searches urgently for solutions. That disconnect has become impossible to ignore. The campaign began with Kansas City expecting to reclaim its customary dominance. Instead, the club has encountered an unfamiliar identity crisis. Reinforcements added during the offseason have failed to deliver the anticipated cohesion, and that shortfall has forced the coaching staff into rapid diagnosis mode. Pressure mounts with each passing week. Elite organizations typically build deep rosters designed to accommodate their strategic vision, planning to give newcomers chances to demonstrate their worth. Kristian Fulton's experience in Kansas City has not followed that script. He has found it difficult to secure a place in Reid's rotation and establish himself as a reliable contributor. Fulton arrived following the L'Jarius Sneed transaction with Tennessee, signing a 2-year, $20 million contract that reflected serious expectations for what he would bring to the secondary. Those expectations hit immediate complications. Knee surgery curtailed his availability during camp, delaying his adjustment to the scheme. When he began finding rhythm in the second regular season game against Philadelphia, an ankle injury halted his momentum and forced him out once more. Injuries have been the principal obstacle limiting Fulton's impact, and while he recovers, other cornerbacks have stepped forward. What had been a glaring concern in Kansas City's defensive backfield has shown marked improvement, intensifying competition for starting roles and making it harder for a sideline newcomer to reclaim immediate playing time. This Sunday at Arrowhead Stadium, the Chiefs host the Baltimore Ravens, a franchise long regarded as an AFC benchmark. Even if Baltimore has not launched its season as powerfully as expected, they remain a formidable opponent, and this matchup carries oversized implications for Kansas City's postseason positioning. The Chiefs are determined to secure a second straight win and prove their performance level surpasses what their record suggests. With Kristian Fulton unavailable, alternate cornerbacks will receive expanded roles and fresh opportunities to claim spots in the rotation as Kansas City works to stabilize its defense. Meanwhile, trade rumors are swirling around a veteran running back who might find new life in Kansas City's system. Could Kansas City offer the lifeline Alvin Kamara needs to rescue a stalled tenure in New Orleans? That question has begun circulating in earnest. New Orleans' difficult beginning has moved discussions beyond scheme adjustments and into personnel strategy. When a franchise falls to 0-4, attention inevitably shifts toward which veterans might become trade assets and whether a midseason restructuring could improve the long-term trajectory. Alvin Kamara, still displaying game-altering abilities, has surfaced in speculation as a player who might flourish in a different setting. Observers are weighing whether relocating to a more stable, contender-caliber environment could revive the veteran's earlier career form. The New Orleans Saints dropped to 0-4 following their Week 4 loss to Buffalo. Though the squad has displayed occasional flashes, overall consistency remains absent, prompting widespread conversation about potential roster changes. Given the team's struggles, Kamara and other veterans are increasingly mentioned as possible trade candidates. Kamara specifically could emerge as a principal asset on the market if his intermittent bursts of productivity continue to stand out amid the team's broader difficulties. External voices have pushed for a Chiefs reunion. Michael Bolin of Fansided argued that Kamara needs a move to Kansas City to escape the deteriorating circumstances in New Orleans. That characterization suggests the veteran would benefit from joining a franchise with a stronger organizational foundation and more dependable offensive infrastructure. Play-calling choices have raised eyebrows. Bolin highlighted a specific goal line decision, opting for a Philly special instead of handing the ball to Kamara, as evidence the coaching staff may not regard him as the undisputed lead back. That play resulted in a turnover and 0 points, intensifying discussion among Chiefs supporters on social platforms advocating for a trade to rescue Kamara's situation. A logical match exists in Kansas City. The Chiefs could provide Kamara with a clearer primary role in a more efficient offense, supported by experienced coaching, an environment where his remaining explosiveness and receiving skills could be maximized. In Kansas City, he would presumably operate within a superior structure to chase a late career championship opportunity. Both value and timing merit consideration. The veteran continues to display speed and burst that would make him an attractive addition. From New Orleans' perspective, trading him promptly rather than delaying could recover value before any further decline. And from Kansas City's perspective, acquiring Kamara could strengthen a backfield seeking reliable, versatile output. In another development, analysts are pointing to a different kind of weapon the Chiefs could target before the deadline. Could a $19.2 million target supply the missing element for Mahomes, assuming the Chiefs are prepared to meet the asking price? That question has entered the conversation with force. Kansas City's opening stretch has not reflected the commanding identity supporters expect, and the urgency to recapture momentum is intensifying. With a 1-2-3 beginning, every roster discussion assumes heightened importance as the team searches for methods to reignite its attack. Speculation has naturally followed. As names circulate through trade chatter, analysts are evaluating whether a decisive acquisition could immediately elevate Patrick Mahomes and reshape Kansas City's season narrative. Through Week 4, Mahomes and the Chiefs have not resembled the unquestioned Super Bowl favorites many forecast. The offense has lacked steady dynamism, while the defense, though occasionally reliable, has not generated enough game-altering stops to offset offensive stagnation. With limited production in the aerial game, rumors about roster enhancements have accelerated. Tyreek Hill remains the most frequently cited name in speculative trade discussions, but another potential target has been proposed who would likewise benefit Kansas City's passing attack. Chris Olave of New Orleans has entered the conversation. John Sigler of Saints Wire suggested Olave as a player who could help the Chiefs stretch defenses and supply a consistent vertical option. Sigler even outlined a potential framework for a transaction between the clubs. In Sigler's sketch, Kansas City would send a 2026 first-round pick to New Orleans for Olave. That would represent a substantial price, particularly for a team already managing cap constraints and draft capital. Yet Olave's playmaking profile could warrant the investment if he returns to peak form. Olave, the number 11 overall selection in 2022, has flashed number 1 potential, but has also encountered injuries that disrupted his development. Across 4 NFL campaigns, he has appeared in 42 games, hauling in 214 receptions for 2,730 yards and 10 touchdowns. Pairing Olave with Mahomes would likely amplify his strengths as a downfield weapon. Kansas City's offense has historically thrived with receivers who can consistently win deep, a role Olave can fulfill and one Mahomes has excelled with in previous years. Olave might not be available, and New Orleans could resist parting with a young vertical threat. Still, if the Saints indicated openness, Kansas City would be prudent to at least investigate the cost and feasibility of adding a player who can transform how opposing defenses must approach the field. At the same time, questions about Kansas City's ground game have sparked discussions about a speedier backfield addition. If Kansas City genuinely wants to revitalize its ground attack, could Travis Etienne be the immediate remedy they require? That proposition has gained traction. The Chiefs' offense has underperformed early, and the passing game's deficiencies have attracted the most scrutiny. Losing key receiving weapons to begin the season has aggravated those worries, but the rushing attack's ineffectiveness represents an equally urgent issue. Discussions about mid-season reinforcements have expanded beyond receivers, with analysts proposing Kansas City might target a quick, versatile running back to restore balance and supply a genuine multi-dimensional threat. Kansas City's ground game has failed to yield steady production, placing excessive burden on the passing unit. Through 3 contests, the team's rushing output has been underwhelming, to the extent that Patrick Mahomes is the franchise's only back to surpass 100 rushing yards thus far. Lead back Isaiah Pacheco has not produced as the team anticipated, recording 25 carries for 92 yards, a 3.7-yard average, with 0 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt, the veteran complementary option, has shown similar efficiency while sharing work with Pacheco in recent games. Sportsnaut's Matt Johnson proposed that the Chiefs explore acquiring Jacksonville's Travis Etienne to inject speed, burst, and pass-catching prowess into the committee, or potentially lead it outright. Etienne's combination of pace and receiving aptitude would signify a clear upgrade in explosiveness. Johnson contended the offensive struggles stem less from receivers than the absence of an efficient, dynamic rushing game. Entering Week 4, Kansas City ranked 17th in rush EPA, -0.084, and the team had produced only one run exceeding 20 yards on 21 attempts, a statistic pointing to a transparent need for big play capability from the backfield. Although Etienne remains listed as Jacksonville's top back, Johnson speculated the Jaguars could contemplate moving him, especially with rookie Breece Hall showing promise as a feature runner and Laquan Allen available in passing situations. Johnson suggested a realistic package could be a 2026 fifth-round pick from Kansas City in exchange for Etienne, with Jacksonville receiving cornerback Joshua Williams in return, a deal that reflects Etienne's contract year status and the calculus of short-term value. A fifth-round price tag aligns with Etienne's contract context and the possibility that Jacksonville views younger options as the future. For Kansas City, Etienne would not be a transformational league-leading back, but would inject speed, competition, and a proven receiving skill set, attributes that could elevate both the run and passing attack. Join the conversation. The Chiefs' season has taken unexpected turns, and the decisions ahead could define their championship hopes. Now we want to hear from you. Travis Etienne's name has surfaced as a potential rushing solution, but is a fifth-round pick and a backup cornerback reasonable compensation for a pass-catching back in a contract year? Would Etienne's speed and receiving ability address the Chiefs' offensive imbalance, or does Kansas City need a more traditional power runner to complement Mahomes? Leave your analysis in the comments. Don't forget, like and subscribe to join our fan base and stay up to date. Let's grow stronger with Chiefs. Until next time.